Thank you. We notice that some people, they are sending messages to us. We keep updating people on the WhatsApp group. As time goes on, we drop the link for people to get in touch with us for any updates. All right, thank you. Without wasting our time, I would like to call on Dr. Banito to proceed for the next section. Thank you once again. All right, thank you, Mr. Okechukwu. We are seated.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dami. I trust everyone can hear me. Please, if you can hear me loud and clear, kindly type 11 in the chat room. If you can hear me loud and clear, please kindly type 11 in the chat room. If you can hear me loud and clear, please kindly type. We had to look at the overview of artificial intelligence, and we also looked at the overview of generative AI. Now, before we proceed, if you were here in the morning, can you please type 22 in the chat room? If you were here in the morning, can you type 22 in the chat room? If you were here in the morning, can you please type 22? Okay, if you were here in the morning, please. Okay, so for those of us that were here in the morning, thank you so much for returning back. Now, can someone help us summarize the first section? Summarize in your own words, in your own view, in your own understanding, what we dealt with in the morning. Please feel free. We'll unmute, you raise your hand and we'll unmute you. You can go ahead and give us a voice. Just, you were here in the morning and you would like to help us with the summary of the morning section. Please feel free. Okay, so I have a hand up. Thank you so much. Please, coordinator, I would like you to put an eye on the waiting room so that you can bring everybody in. And the YouTube link has also been shared, so you can go ahead and share with those in the general group that might not have access to the Zoom. Okay. So, the person that raised his hand, please, can you unmute and go ahead? That's Chikogo Osai.
Yeah.
Please go ahead, please. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity to. I basically learned from all that you taught in the morning. First, about a definition of AI, and then the simple idea that computer systems programmed in a way to work like humans, to engage in activities like cognitive reasoning, decision-making, and learning. And you also harped on the fact that they've been done in a way to help improve our lives, help us for productivity, innovation, and creativity. To me, that is the part that hooked up with me. Every other thing you did by way of tracing the history of generative AI from the 1960s till today, I think what caught my attention the most was the build-up from the COVID era, 2020, was actually magnified to show its importance because of that time when we were all locked down. In summary, I will say that you've been able to lay the foundation that AI can be applied in every field of life. And to me as a pastor, that is a given for me. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Chikaogo Osai. Thank you so much. You've given a very good summary of the descriptions we entertained in the morning. And being a pastor, that's wonderful. So I'm going to share a very beautiful experience. So one day, you can also try this, but remember that AI is not meant to make us lazy. It's just meant to make our work easier. So let's get that thin line, because some people say, "I said it. Let's go ahead and be doing it." So one day, I asked an AI tool to prepare a preaching message for me. So I gave it a topic, and it prepared the message with different verses, chapters from the Bible, and all of that. And I was amazed. Okay, I actually asked it to preach a message from John 3:16, and it did a very good work by preaching a message on John 3:16 and giving me additional verses of the Bible that I could also use in preaching the message. So as a pastor, I think that will also be a very good one, but I'm not saying in full chest that you should just go ahead and just type your topic and ask AI to generate it. Even if it does generate it, you still have a responsibility to sit down, to cross-check what it has said, and make sure that it tallies with your preaching objectives. Thank you so much, Pastor Chico Gosai. All right, I will take two more. In the morning section, if you were here in the morning section, just raise your hand. What aspect of the morning section got your attention? What, in just brief summary, what aspect of the morning section got your attention? Please feel free. If I see your hand up, remember that this is a professional discussion, so it's not as though I'm just here pushing to you and you're learning. No, we all learn together. So I'm seeing some people that were here in the morning, but I'm not going to call names. So feel free to share with us. We had people from the banking giving their own experience, those from engineering giving their own experience, those in leadership giving their own experience, and so much more. So what did you learn, or what got your attention regarding artificial intelligence with specifics to what generative AI in the morning? I'm waiting for feedback. I'm waiting for responses. Just raise your hand and I will mute you. Okay, please kindly confirm that you can still hear me loud and clear. If you can still hear me loud and clear, kindly type 1 in the chat room. Okay, Musa Megari said, thank you so much. Okay, so you can hear me. So let's discuss. Thank you for the wonderful summary. I've really learned from what you have been. Okay, thank you. So since we can hear each other, let's discuss. So for those of us that were here in the morning, what did we learn? What got your attention? Let's do that very quickly, and then we move on. Okay, okay, so everyone, or a good number of people have confirmed that you can hear me. So can we have a very quick chat before we proceed so that we can assess understanding? So what did you learn in the morning section? What did you learn in the morning section? Let me get to hear from us. Oh. Okay, so it will be quite demotivating if only one person out of the many that indicated that they were in class in the morning. To be demotivating if it's only one person that could share his thoughts on what he learned in the morning. Okay, so let's make it engaging. Let's encourage ourselves Okay, because if you speak, you will encourage me. If you don't speak, you will make me feel like I'm not doing it right. So if I don't get the feedback, it's more like I did not do it right. So if you learned something in the morning, just raise your hand, and then we all mute you. You share with us what you learned in the morning. I think that is quite simple. Okay. Do we need an AI to do that? Okay, so if I cannot access what we learned in the morning, how am I sure that the one I'm going to teach now, you will understand it? Dami, are you with me?
Oh, I'm with you, sir. I'm here.
So if I'm not sure that we got something in the morning, how am I sure that the one I will teach now or the discussions that we have further will be understood? But I think I would just rather give everybody. Okay. If you just want to say something, just click on your unmute button and then let's share thoughts. Okay, so I have Francis. Can I just unmute?
It seems everybody has something to say.
Adesi said, what I learned is that AI provides information of which we can use to make our decisions. Okay, the AI does not make decisions for us. Okay, it only provides information for us. All right. Francis said, I learned that AI is a tool in a man's hand. Okay. There is what I learned. Okay, let me say before. Meher said AI has come to stay best. We keep up with current trends. Okay, so for those of us in YouTube too, please feel free to share with us what you've learned. I will read it up from here. Everything you've learned, please feel free. I will read it up from here. And I'm happy that people are learning. Okay, Chuku, okay, Chuku. Francis, please. Francis, please, you can still go ahead and let me hear from you. Francis, are you still there? You can just unmute and go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good afternoon, sir, and good afternoon, everyone in the house.
Good afternoon, sir.
To seize this opportunity to thank you for the elaborate lecture that you gave to us during the morning section. It was quite impressive. And someone like me, I've just been hearing about this AI, though I've never taken my time to know much about it, but I actually know that it's something that has come to stay. Because in moving world this day, once you fail to align yourself with technology, it means that you will be left behind with time. So, and I think this lecture came at the appropriate time. So, thank you so much for the initiative. So, and just like as I chatted up in the chat session, I learned that AI is actually like a tool in a man's hand, in the sense that it aids a man to achieve his purpose, to do a lot of things. It cut across all sectors of life. You talk about engineering, you talk about health sector, in every aspect of life. And especially for those that have interest in academics, that want to be lecturers and co, as well understand that the AI can actually to make his work to give you what you need. That means if you are using AI as a tool.
Okay, Mr. Francis, sorry, your network seems to be breaking.
Yeah, can I come in?
Okay, who is speaking? Please kindly introduce yourself and go on. But Mr. Francis, your network seems to be breaking, so sorry about that. Okay, please go ahead. The person that wants to come in, the door is open.
Okay, thank you. This is Nabos, all the way from Makerere University, Uganda.
Okay, you're welcome.
Am I loud and clear?
Yes, you're very loud and clear, louder than those in Uganda.
Thank you. I joined a few minutes late in the mornings during the morning session.
Okay.
But I was able to learn that generative AI has become a transformative force that cuts across various industries. And a few of them, we have seen that generative AI can create content, or what I could call content creation, that it can be able to create automated text, automated images, music, and videos. The same can be used in the fields of marketing, entertainment, and even in the news media. I was also able to learn that it is used in education, whereby it can be used to develop personalized learning materials and also tutoring systems. That's a few that I could contribute. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Nabot, all the way from Uganda. Okay, I think we've gotten enough feedback. Now you've motivated me, and I can proceed. From YouTube, Emmanuel Ibok was asking if the technical can improve on the sound. Please, Emmanuel would like to confirm, can you hear us loud and clear from YouTube? If you can, please kindly confirm. Orient Model said, I learned AI isn't here to take our job, but to make us think better. All right. From Ahmed Shaibu, he said, efficiency promotion. All right. So this is from YouTube. And back to Zoom, we have from Mahesha, she said, AI has come to stay. Best we keep up with current trends in order not to be left behind. They have left behind. One thing is for certain, it end. Okay, we will get it. Okay. From Mahesha again, said it ensures our work. It enhances our work in all ramifications. The person that his name is I. Say AI makes us smarter cognitively anyways and reduces tasks real time. All right, thank you so much everyone for giving us your feedback, and it is quite impressive. One more time, don't learn alone, invite someone to learn with you. In case you have you're the only one from your organization, feel free to share it across the WhatsApp groups in your organization and invite your team to be on board. This is a training that would have ended or would have taken quite a number of funds from your wallet, but it is provided for free. So make sure you invite them so that we can all learn together. Now, importantly as well, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and share the link. Invite someone to also learn with you on YouTube. All right. Okay. So in the morning, we stopped at looking the role of AI in organizations, and that's going to lead us to quite a number of discussions. We sincerely encourage. Okay. So Mr. Emmanuel has confirmed that the sound is okay on YouTube. Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. Let's feel free to share our discussion in the discussion. I don't think there is anyone here that might be in secondary school. Somehow, if you're not currently working, you've passed through the work system. So that makes it easier for us to understand applications of concepts we are discussing, right? So feel free to share with us in areas where all of these things have had practical applications in your work environment, in your life. Feel free to share with us, and we can have that discussion moving on as fast as we can. Okay. Someone gave a very long. From Alex, Samuel said, it's amazing to know against our fear that AI cannot actually replace human being except the dummies. All right. That it takes a smart man, which is what we want to become, that make us to be here in the first place. Okay. To build AI makes me happy. I formally discovered that AI actually started during COVID-19, and that makes me to start suspecting intention of people behind the COVID-19. Okay, so Mabe from Daura. Okay, Mabe Daura said, my work environment, AI helps to fine-tune my ideas. Wonderful, I love that. When I write proposals, thank you so much. Okay, so now in organizations, there had been this fear. Everybody's afraid. AI, if AI does all of what they say it will do, that means we just go home. Now, I want to emphasize something here. Misinformation is more like a death sentence. Misinformation is more like a death sentence. If we're misinformed, then we will do so poorly. In fact, we might even get to have injuries in our pursuit. Okay. So one of the essence of this class is to give us the actual information, the truth, nothing but the truth, not a misinformation, right? Okay. So let's make sure that we are well-informed, and well-guided. And just like we pointed out in the morning, AI had been there since the 1940s. AI had been there since 1940, but there had been suppression, there had been resistance to the advent of AI. But COVID-19 now gave it a time, or gave it the chance to speak up, or to, to come up. All right. So COVID-19 gave that opportunity. And, after COVID-19, we kept discussing the impact of COVID-19. The truth is that we can never recover from the impact of COVID-19, because COVID-19 gave access to several disruptions that were long overdue. They were just waiting for an opportunity to give birth to them. Okay, those disruptions were waiting for opportunities for them to be bettered. And since COVID came, it has given opportunities to several of them to be given birth to, and several will still be given birth to. So we, as human beings, our assignment is to do what? Our assignment is to make sure that we get to align, we get to update and update our skills with current realities and current trends. And this is very, very important. This is very, very important. Okay, it's very, very important. All right. So that being said, we were looking at, or we were to look at the role of generative AI in reshaping the future of organizations. What does this mean? Okay, the truth is, it's already happening. Okay, it's already happening. There were times in the industrial era that organizations needed large volume of people for them to be able to work. When machines, technology came, the number of those people reduced because machines had to do most of those works. I'm talking about the role of technology now in industries, in organizations. Now, at some point, we now had the advent of information technology. Computer came into place, and there was need to now process data. Okay, first of all, we wanted to impute data. Okay, we're just much more interested in imputing data, so and processing data. So word processors came. We had Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and we're still using them today. Many more had come out afterwards. And it came at some point that the individuals who upgraded their skills, who learned about the IT, were the ones that stayed in the organizations. Those who didn't upgrade their skills were either relinquished to more menial jobs, or were off the organizations. Now, the advent of IT and its innovations now gave birth to another shape of organizations. So we now have what we call the freelance. It gave more the introduction and the advent of IT and its innovations, numerous unending innovations, gave birth to freelance, gave birth to consulting. Like, it enhanced consulting, it improved in the consulting industry. Several people became consultants by their knowledge in IT. Okay, and it also, to some extent, affected and reshaped work. So towards the end of 2020, we began to see things like hybrid works, remote work systems, freelance, and then we began to talk about performance management rather than time management. Did you get what I just said now? Organizations began to look at performance-driven work environment rather than time management work environment. Time management had another name. Instead of saying time management, where you need to come early and go late, we now talk about performance management. We look at results. We look at goals that have been met. This is just a little overview of how technology has, over the years, reshaped the working environment. Now, the question is, will generative AI also reshape the work environment? The answer is, without doubt, yes. But remember, we have different categorization and different domains of artificial intelligence. We have the robotics, we have the generative AI, and several others. While we are not looking at robotics, I would like to take an example from robotics. Now, we have the example I gave in the morning, the example of the Amazon store in US that is completely automated and managed by artificial intelligence using robotics. and generative AI. So there is no human being found around that store. You do all your shopping, all your everything with the help of artificial intelligence. Has it reshaped that organization? The answer is yes. We have in most organizations today, especially those that have become internet inclined. So we now have web apps, artificial intelligence induced web apps that can help in determining what customers want from you. So you go to Konga, and while you're surfing Konga, asking questions, then Konga begins to give you recommendations on what actually they think you need. Those artificial intelligence in place. Are they reshaping the organization? Yes, they are reshaping how surveys now are being done. So surveys now are being done real time. And I gave another example in the morning of how things like Facebook. In fact, let me tell you something. And I need you to, I need to have an attention to this. Anytime you open up your computer, and in fact, whether you're connected to the internet or you're not connected to the internet, and you're speaking, there is something recording your conversations. There is something taking note of some keywords of things you say. For instance, somebody has his mobile phone by his hand or her hand. Okay, let's take a lady that is pregnant. He has her phone by her hand, and then she's talking about how pregnant she has been, how she need to buy baby things and all of that. And of course, every time she goes to the internet, she wants to talk about pregnancy. What do I buy for my baby and all of that? And all of a sudden, she goes to Facebook. Facebook begins to bombard her with ads related to pregnancy matters, things to buy for your babies, the kind of medical test to go for as a pregnant woman and all of that. You go to Google, the same thing is happening there. You go to Twitter, the same thing is happening there. Okay, now X. You go to anywhere around the internet, on your Truecaller, they give you information about that. On your Gmail, you open it. All they are talking about is from the information that has been collected by an AI tool associated with your device. Now, that's on personal experience. Now, what I'm saying is that those information that are being generated, they are reshaping organizations today. They are reshaping how surveys are being done. They are reshaping how talents are being managed. They are reshaping how performance is being viewed. They are reshaping basically everything. So if you are not reshaping yourself, you will soon turn out of shape. If you are not updating your skills, updating yourself in terms of the current realities of information technology with regards to artificial intelligence, you will soon be out of place. So let's have this at the back of our mind and put that in place. Now we have if you use 365 Microsoft 365, okay, there is one particular tool they call Power Automate. Okay, Power Automate. Now, Power Automate is more like an AI tool that helps you to handle your workflows, maybe your emails, your calls, the repetitive tasks you do, especially the repetitive secretarial tasks that you do. Okay, that also is reshaping. So there is a possibility that one person alone in the future, or is already happening, not that in the future, is already happening, that one person could sit in an office with the aid of AI tools, handle the work of more than 1,000 persons. Are you ready for that? That's just the question. Because organizations are looking for ways to cut costs and improve on profit. So if AI will help them to do that, why would they want to hire another person? And that's why we said in the morning that AI actually is not coming to replace our work. It can only replace the work of dummies. And one of the characteristics of a dummy is someone who is not ready to upgrade his skills, irrespective of your age. Whether you are 95 years, like I said in the morning, or you're 15 years, if you're not upgrading your skills, one day you find out that you are just out of shape and you are out of date. Your processor need to be, your processing units need to be upgraded. Is it your processing unit now? Yeah. Okay. So someone say here, say that's why I don't believe WhatsApp calls are 100% encrypted. Okay, I just have the feeling they're actually recording part of my calls. All right. Okay, so back to our discussion. Generative AI is a transformative force reshaping the future of organizations by automating routine tasks. So ask yourself, your work in your organization, is it a routine task? As a director in an organization, do you perform routine tasks that you do almost every day? Now, if your answer is yes, the question is, can you learn skills that will help you perform those routine tasks using AI? If yes, then you have to learn those skills. If you think because you're a director, you don't need to, you just have to be at the top and nothing happens, don't worry. One day, federal government of Nigeria came up with a policy that is forcing every civil servant in Nigeria now to become HRM professional, okay? And forcing them to be performance driven and all of that. If you think government will delay, I was having, I was privileged to have a training with the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, and we're talking about this performance management system. And somebody kept insisting that, do we know how long government have been talking about this performance management system? In the next 10 years, they will keep talking about it. I said, okay, so do you know what government has done in the last 3 years? In fact, since COVID, do you know what they've done? Before, nobody talked about you getting professionalized, but now you must professionalize the HR or administration before you get promoted. True or false? True. Before, nobody talked about digitalization of civil service data or public service data, but now they are doing it. Almost every ministry is creating a software, is creating a website where you can easily access data. I had a training session with Nigerian Boundaries Commission, NBC. I think that was 2022. Yeah. We were talking about digitalization of data, digital transformation. Okay. And we discussed extensively how they can even monetize the data that they have. And they started that implementation. So if you think that government is playing with you, don't worry, just take up. Very soon you discover that you are now behind the schedule. Okay. And like I will always tell people, when government set a policy, your assignment is not to fight it first. Your assignment is to obey. You see, obey before complain. First, obey before you start complaining. If you keep complaining and murmuring, that policy might become your doomsday. So it's important we understand these whole things we're talking about. And there is no better time to discuss and get certified in artificial intelligence like the time we are in now, because the disruption is so unbelievable. You see, the way prices of goods and services are changing in the market, that's the way disruption is happening in the market, in the labor market, in the workplace today. You went home, you came back, your CEO just says, oh, we are introducing this particular software. Like joke. If you don't learn about it, if you don't know about it, you will soon be out of that job. They will not tell you, oh, sorry, we are not getting jobs. We are not doing this. We need to retrench. If we start retrenchment, if we start downsizing, we start from the people whose skills are not up to date, who are not open to advancement. I hope we are together. Okay, I hope we are together. Okay, so somebody wrote, I said, government is not playing with anybody now, okay, because they want result on their investment, all right? Now, another aspect of how generative AI is transforming organization is that it is enhancing creativity. I think in our module 5, we'll be dealing with the AI and human integration. So we'll be looking at it. Should we work only with AI, or there is a blend between the two? We'll look at it, and how does it really enhance creativity? We'll look at it. Improving decision-making and personalizing customer experience. Let me tell you the truth. Any organization, any strategic organization by now is already AI-enabled. If your organization is not AI-enabled, you're lagging behind. You're lagging behind. If your organization currently, whether you're big, you're small, irrespective of your size, if your organization currently is not AI-enabled, you are very much behind. And the competition will sweep you away. So the earlier you sit up and do the needful, the better for you. And I'm not talking about you just typing on AI and getting results. We'll look at the strategy and frameworks for integration and how you can make it a complete part of your organization, and how it can improve your performance, improve your profit, improve everything. Okay? By leveraging generative AI, organizations can achieve greater efficiency. I think Engineer Shoaib mentioned this in in the YouTube that it promotes efficiency. All right. Okay. And it fosters innovation. Now, we said creativity fosters innovation. Now, somebody will say, does machines foster innovation? Remember, there is a blend. There is an interplay between AI and human initiative. I said something in the morning. AI is challenging us to become smarter than we used to be. It is human beings that are using their intellect to program this thing. So they are smarter than you and I at the moment. So they are forcing us to be smarter. You know, there is this research that says only about 0.5% of the human brain has been used since inception. Only about 0.5% of the human brain. And they said only about 0.5%, okay, only about 0.5% have been able to use up to, is it up to 1% of the 5%? Only about 0.5% of the entire human race have been able to use about 1% of the 5%. So you see how far we have been. So that percentage of our brain that we don't want to give work, AI is forcing us to do better. So with time, we'll see geniuses whose mental capacity, whose cognitive abilities will shoot up. And that is what the next generation is coming up to become. The next generation, that's what is coming up to become. Okay, so someone is asking, so are you saying all online businesses or online business owners are AI owners? That's not what I'm saying. I said all strategic organizations, read my lips. Oh, okay, don't read my lips, read my words. All strategic organizations at this point are already AI enabled. Any strategic organization is minimum 10 years ahead of the normal organization, 10 years ahead. 10 years ahead, any strategic organization, minimum 10 years ahead. So they think 10 years ahead of the people in the same industry. Okay, so any organization that is strategic in nature, they already AI enabled. But some of us are actually trying to be part of this whole move right now. And I tell you, somebody said something, one of the CEOs said something during COVID. He said, in the next 10 years, we are going to witness a whole lot of technological disruption that we will not have seen in the past 20 years of technology. That what technology has done in the past 20 years, in the next 5 years, is going to be much more than all of what technology has done 20 years before now. And that is what is happening. Okay, that's exactly what is happening. So strategic people talk like that. Non-strategic people will wait for the invention to come out. Strategic people are the ones who drive the invention. I remember listening to Jack Ma during the COVID. While other organizations were busy downsizing, Jack Ma was busy employing. And when they asked him, why was he employing? He said they were already prepared for this over years, that they knew that a time like this will come, okay, and they prepared for it. And of course, his industry, of course, were part of the essential industry. So while some other industries were sleeping, his industry needed more people to be on the go to make sure that others were safe. So how strategic is your organization? That's the question. If your organization is strategic, I tell you the truth, by now, you should be driven towards AI. If your organization is not strategic, maybe by now you should be thinking of finding out, are you really strategic or not? Okay. So we say it fosters innovation and maintains a competitive edge in an increasing digital and data-driven world. The continuous evolution of AI technologies will likely lead to even more profound changes, necessitating ongoing adaptation and strategic integration of AI capabilities into business processes. This is a very powerful statement, a very powerful statement. Now, in summary of what the role could be, the role of generative AI will include enhanced content creation, innovative product development, operational efficiency, enhanced decision-making, customer experience and personalization, creative industries transformation, human resource and talent management, research and development, among others. Now, let's look at each of these and see what it has to tell us. Now, on enhanced content creation, you could have the use of AI in automated writing and media production. Now, remember that no matter what we do with this AI, it is not independent of your initiative. It's not independent of your brain. It's not to take away the responsibility of the brain. Rather, it is to support you to become smarter and more initiative in what you do. So when we say automated writing and media production, we don't mean you just put up any information and expect it to generate everything you download and send. No, you still have a personal responsibility to bring in your professional undertone to whatsoever thing that is being generated, to whatsoever thing that is being done. Like I said, tomorrow will be our hands-on exercises. Don't miss tomorrow for whatever reason. Don't miss tomorrow. We'll take the time to have hands-on, and we'll group ourselves into different segments, into different classrooms. Each group will come up with what they've discovered, and we will look at all of that together. All right? Okay. Now, generative AI tools can generate articles, reports, marketing copy, and creative content like stories and scripts, significantly reducing the time and cost associated with content creation. Examples are the OpenAI's ChatGPT-4, ChatGPT generally, which can produce high-quality text. Then you have the DALL-E that can generate images from textual descriptions. Okay, now for personalized marketing, AI can create tailored marketing messages and campaigns that can resonate with specific customer segments, improved engagement, and conversion rate. After this particular class, we'll begin to look at this AI specifically, application-wise, how you could use it for marketing, personalized marketing, just to make sure that we understand it a little more and do better with it. Okay, so we'll be doing that subsequently. Okay, we'll be doing that subsequently in order of our sections. But more of the general hands-on we'll do is just to show you how they work, how you query the systems, and all of that. Okay. So examples of the personalized marketing could be your email campaigns, your social media content. Now, on innovative product development, it can help you with design and prototyping. This is very, very important. I said something in the morning. Whether you're an architect, a surveyor, an engineer, you do design, you're a product developer, you're a business developer, AI can help you design the right framework, the right structure, the right product. It can help you. Please note, I didn't say it would design and develop for you. I say it can help you. So it is a support system that can help you become smarter in designing and developing products, creating prototypes that can easily be used to make surveys and gather information, and then you improve on the product, and then you have a commercial product that is launchable. All right, this is very, very important. Now, if you are on YouTube and you have not shared the link to this program, please go ahead, share the link, invite someone, and let's all learn together. All right, and if in case you've not liked the video, go ahead, like it, subscribe to the channel, and then we'll move on. Now, we'll have drugs discovery and healthcare. So even in the medical field, the pharmaceutical field, the biological field, it can also be used in discovering drugs. It can also be used in health care services. Okay, and I think the medical industry is one of the areas where artificial intelligence is having the most profound effect. Okay, most profound effect. So we have the AI doctors, the AI pharmacists, the AI dentists, and all of that. All right. Okay, another role is operational efficiency. Automation of routine tasks, we've said that over and over again. So your generative AI can be used to handle automation of routine tasks. And this could mean freeing up human resources for more strategic activities. And freeing up human resources simply means it can also lead to downsizing of people that are not relevant, no longer relevant in the organization. Okay, I enjoyed the discussion we had on a member congress that was around June 18th. Yeah, June 18th, where at the section of Barrister Gabriel, he gave very profound testimony of his career journey from a legal practitioner to an accountant, to a forensic auditor, to a management consultant, to a strategist, to an international consultant, and all with relevant certifications, all with relevant accreditations. It was mind-boggling. A time will come, it is only people that have the capacity to multitask or integrate different components of organization that can stand. And one of the things that can help you in doing that is generative AI. Okay. They will also look at the supply chain optimization. During one of our, I think it was April last year, when we had a program on artificial intelligence, we had someone, one of our speakers from UPS, Universal Postal Services, yeah, something like that. Their head of marketing, yeah, their head of marketing. He came and he shared with us how they are using artificial intelligence in the organizations, in handling parcels, in storing of parcels, in sorting of parcels, and all of that, in loading of parcels, and all of that. And that is great. Okay. We also have those in the value chain of supply management who are using artificial intelligence in doing this. Now, let's roll back a little. Go back to Konga, for instance. Go back to Amazon. Go back to Jumia. You call them e-commerce, but they are also part of the supply chain market. I hope you understand that. Now, like I said, they have simple web AI tools they use to fetch information from you. While you're searching, you are giving them information about what you need, and that determines what they send to you as ad. You go to Facebook, you see the ad. You go to YouTube, you see the ad. The same thing everywhere. What are they doing? They are managing their supply chain. They are making sure that their investment is going to the right person and to the right people. So without AI, you could, or with AI, you could reduce cost in the supply chain. And without AI, you could go ahead and maximize cost in the supply chain. I don't know how many of us have noticed that even on YouTube today, you go to YouTube to do Facebook marketing, or sorry, you go to Facebook to do Facebook marketing. They have introduced an aspect now that they use AI to do your customer targeting for you. That means you just give a topic and that particular AI will try to find out the most important people that could actually buy from you. That is part of the supply chain also. Okay. Engineer Shaibu said, I was whispered by Barrister Gabriel when he spoke, okay, at the session weeks ago, right? Thank you so much. So the supply chain, if you're in the procurement industry, if you're in marketing department, if you're in, don't think it doesn't concern you. If you're not careful, your job is at risk. But thank God you are here today. So you're learning. Okay, you're learning, and it's going to be better off for you. All right. So the earlier you stay, you take up the strategic move and stay at the top, the better for you. Okay, now let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, so somebody said the e-commerce platform use SEO, that's search engine optimization. Now, the SEO is currently using artificial intelligence to get the best result from you. That's what we are saying. So the SEO is now AI enabled to make sure that the right content is served to you. So anything you input on the internet today becomes a keyword that will be used to aggregate the volume of that or that particular keyword, and then be determined if it is worth serving back to customers and not. They have enhanced decision making. The question in the morning about sustainability, decision making, and organizational leadership. AI doesn't take decision for you. All right, AI doesn't take decision for you, but it can provide you with a support system to make decisions. All right. It can provide you with the support systems to do what? To make decisions. And how do they do this? Through data analysis and insight. So generative AI can analyze large data sets, generate insight, and provide recommendations, adding in better decision making. So I was to do a work. On correlation analysis. I was taking a course on microeconomics. Okay, microeconomics, and it was an online course. Yeah, I was taking a course, online course. That was about maybe a month ago or thereabout. And in part of the things I was being taught was correlation analysis, regression analysis. You know, we in the management field, if you say correlation, we understand it by words and observations and in simple terms, how they play out. But scientifically, there are qualitative and quantitative mechanisms to measuring those things. So I was taught in the qualitative and quantitative dimensions of econometrics and all of that. So I was dealing with my regression analysis correlation analysis, trend analysis, and all of those things. And I was given a particular solution or a particular question, and I just lifted that question. I took it to a particular mathematical AI tool and asked it to calculate the thing for me. It did not only calculate it, it analyzed everything and gave me the best, unarguable answer that could be the best, okay? And gave me the best answer. And now it did not just stop at the answer, it also interpreted the answer by application. So it did not just say 9. It did not just say after calculation, it just said 9. No, it interpreted the meaning of the value 9 in real-time applications. So with that, I can make decision when I see such figures. Okay, I can make decision when I see such figures. All right. Okay, thank you so much. Please, I would like to confirm that you can still hear me loud and clear, please. If you can hear me loud and clear, please kindly type 11 in the chat room. And if you are on YouTube, you can hear me loud and clear, please kindly type 11 in the chat room. Okay, kindly type 11 in the chat room if you can hear me loud and clear. Okay. All right, thank you. I just need to be sure that we are on the same page. Now, another thing that AI can do is that AI can help you do what we call scenarios simulation. So it can generate scenarios for you. Now, when we look, when we want to make forecast, we create scenarios. We have best case scenario and worst case scenario. They will have the average case scenario. So let's assume that you want to design a product. Take, for instance, you want to design a product or the best product that can serve in a situation like this in Nigeria now. I'm using Nigeria as a case study, where economic hardship is very high. Okay, and you tell the AI that you are into hair making. What kind of product can you sell in this period? It will shock you how the system will guide you towards creating scenarios that will give you best result. Now, since this beautiful time started in the Nigerian economy, I think I've done quite a number of research. Okay, one of the things I've actually asked, and I think I used AI to do, was product development. Okay, thank you so much, Emmanuel. Thank you so much, Shade, for confirming that you can hear us on YouTube. All right, now AI gave us very unique strategies that I may not be able to discuss because that's part of our competitive advantage now. So when I teach you querying tomorrow, maybe you can discover how to do that. Okay, but it gave us very simple strategies that by the time we started applying them, it gave us more, gave us more revenue, because I think that's the bottom line. All right, it generated more financial results for us. Okay, it generated more financial results for us. Okay, so it can help you create scenarios. And like I said, don't miss tomorrow's class for anything. Whether you are 95 years or you are 15 years and you want to understand how AI works, especially the generative AI, if you can understand generative AI, you could become a consultant overnight. And I'm not joking. Now, by the end of this program, if you wish to become a certified AI advisor, you can also go ahead and process that. So if you want to become an AI advisor, certified AI advisor, where you will be able to stand as an ethical AI practitioner to advise organizations, advise your own organization, advise other organizations on how to become AI compliant, that would be great. Okay, and that is also one of the certifications that we offer here. So if you want to, or that we are getting out of this program, so if you want to become certified AI advisor, all you need to do is to complete maybe 2 more sections, 2 more certificate programs on AI. Okay, you've done the free course, you do the advanced version, and then take another course around it, and then you'll be given a certified AI advisor. You take the ethical AI and ethics, okay, and regulation. Then you become an advisor, you become an authority in this field. All right. Okay, that's wonderful. So customer experience and personalization. In the morning, we had Mrs. Christy Okela talk so much, or give us a background view on customer experience. She's a customer experience professional. So she gave us wonderful background on how AI has revolutionized the customer experience industry with chatbots and all of that. So with your AI, you can teach your chatbot, you can teach your virtual assistant tools on how to attend to customers. Okay, and then you also have personalized recommendation. Have you ever used a chatbot where you asked a question, it answered your question, and all of a sudden it began to recommend product for you? Have you ever used such a chatbot? Yes, I've used that severally. Okay, so you can use your chatbot to sell. You can use your chatbot to recommend. Okay, this is very, very important. If you try using Zoom services, after they answer a question, they will now recommend some products to you. If you use some of these banking apps or banking chatbots, after they've answered, in fact, before they answer a question, they will recommend some things to you. Okay, and after they've answered a question, the chatbot will still recommend some. So you can use the chatbot to build on yourselves, improve on yourselves, improve on your customer experience, and all of that. All right. Okay, then we look at the industries. Creative industries. So if you're in art, you're in music, you are in like now, everybody wants to become a content creator, digital content creator. But all of us mustn't be visual. Some of us, our content creation could be music. Another person, your content creation could be stories. Another one, your content creation could be arts. Okay, so it mustn't just be to have a channel where you start making videos and all of that. Okay, I think we shouldn't just follow the trend. First discover your area and then try to use okay, so Henshaw said yes, Meta AI recommends a lot. Right, so find the area that is your own interest, and then you could begin to develop information for the creative industry. It could be stories, it could be scripts for movies, it could be scripts for music, it could be just something that is related to yours. So it mustn't be like we often see it. Everybody wants to become a YouTube face, a Facebook face, video. No, it mustn't be that. Find your own area and deal with it. Then we'll have the gaming and visual worlds also doing so well, storytelling and all of that. Now, human resource and talent management, we cannot talk less of the role of AI in human resource management. Today, we talk about the ATS, applicant tracking system. So with ATS, ATS is AI enabled. So ATS, as you are, if you're a HR person and you use an ATS enabled application or recruitment tool, I find that there are some keywords that have already been established. So if you are recruiting and you are filling your form using an ATS system or submitting through an ATS system, if there are some keywords that are not found in your CV, automatically, the system automatically gets you off first. Okay, and it helps you to progress in dimension that makes it easier for you. That by the time the real applications get to you as a HR, you know that these ones are the people you really need to consider. Okay, not that you advertise, you got 1,000 and you want to interview all 1,000. Okay, there is no productivity in that. So you can streamline. Okay, so AI in HR can help you streamline recruitment and hiring and also help you with employee training and development. Now we have the research and development also. Research and development. So if you use AI also, it can help you with the scientific research. AI can help, can assist researchers in generating hypotheses. Yeah, hypotheses. They will generate hypotheses for you, design experiment for you, and help you in analyzing data and help you in accelerating your scientific discovery. That they help you to generate hypotheses does not mean they are the one that will confirm the hypothesis for you. They only generated the hypothesis, but the work to validate the hypothesis lies on you. I hope you get that. If not, it will only make suggestions. And remember, one of the ways to build AI, generative AI, is through probabilistic modeling. So if it doesn't have the information that you need, it will just produce data that probably will be what you want. Okay. Now we also have innovation acceleration. All we've been discussing are the roles of generative AI in reshaping the future of organizations. So by now, you should be able to know where you fall into. Are you in track, or do you need to come to track? That's the question we need to answer right now. Generative AI can inspire new ideas and innovations by exploring vast data sets and identifying patterns and trends. Example, AI-generated patents and innovative product concepts. Now, before I go to the next module where we look at how generative AI functions, do I have any question? Do I have any comment? Okay, so finally, Mr. Jide had to go and bring his wife, Benedicta Jide Adebisi. So today we will do a very good work for Mr. and Mrs. Jide. Is Mr. Jide in this class? Okay, so now in this class, we have Mr. Jide Adebisi and Mrs. Benedicta Jide Adebisi. So let's clap for them. This is a good man. He brought his family. Okay, Mr. Jide doesn't want to learn alone. So thank you so much for drafting your wife to come and learn with us. And in case your wife is not learning with you, please ensure to get your wife on this train now. And in case your employees are not learning with you, please ensure to make sure that they are part of this class. One day, you will look out for this training, and maybe they will tell you it will cost you 200,000 to go. It will cost you 300,000 to go. You will say, had I known? So please do it now. Now, before I go on, any question so far in what we've taught? Questions, comments, contributions? Let's deal with that very quickly. On YouTube, if you have a question, please feel free to drop your question and we'll answer it immediately. We have currently 11 people on YouTube. That's wonderful. And we have 26 people on Zoom. So wherever you're watching from, feel free to send in your question. So we are looking at both ends, questions, comments. If you are on Zoom, you can just unmute and share a brief. You have a question, go ahead. If you are on YouTube, just drop your question and then we'll take care of that very, very quickly. Now, while we are attending to questions and information comments, the community, please, let's be reminded one more time that while this program is completely free for you to attend, and having the importance of this lecture and this certificate at this point, please be reminded that to get the certificate, you have to, for members, the program has already been highly discounted for members. It's 10,000 naira or $15. And for non-members, it is 15,000 naira or $20. Now, please note, please hear this very well. This information, this is only available between today and tomorrow, 28th and 29th. After 29th, should you wish to get this certificate, members will be 20,000 naira and non-members will be 25,000 naira. Okay, that's very, very important for me to remind us. One more time. So officially, Mrs. Benedicta Jide Adebisi had introduced herself. She's joining us from Lagos. You are highly welcome. Thanks for coming. And we hope that you do enjoy and benefit from the class. And I trust Mr. Jide that the ones you didn't get all, he will help you to get them. All right. Now, if you want to make payment, go ahead. Use the information on the screen to make your payment. You can screenshot that and go ahead and make your payment. Whether you're watching from YouTube or you're watching from or you're joining us from Zoom. Okay. The fee for certificate, members 10,000, non-members 15,000, members $15, non-members $20. Only available between today and tomorrow 29th. After tomorrow, you have 20,000 for members and 25,000 for non-members. All right. Okay. Now, I saw an information in the chat room. Okay, I think I'm done with that. So let's go back to our class, since there is no question at the moment. If you need a glass of water, please feel free to take a glass of water. If you need to stand up, stretch, please feel free to stand up, stretch. If you need to say hi to someone, please feel free to say hi to someone. But by all means, make sure you are connected to the class and you are actually learning. If you have any question at any point, feel free to interrupt by sending the question to the chat room, or raising your hand and sharing your thoughts, and we'll be here to take care of that. Okay, how does generative AI functions? How does generative AI functions? We've looked at a number of things establishing good foundation on the knowledge of generative AI. And like I said in the morning, having to have a certificate in generative AI simply means that you have to understand both the theory and the practical applications. Okay, so let's assume tomorrow you take up a responsibility to advise. You must advise from the basis of knowledge, not just from the basis of application. So that is very, very important. One more time, in case you've not shared the video, please go ahead, share the video, invite someone, and then let's now look at how generative AI functions. Okay. All right, how does generative AI functions? Before we look at how generative AI functions, let's begin with how generative AI differs from the traditional AI. And we're going to look at things at different headings. So the first we're going to look at is based on objectives and capabilities. Okay, so I'm going to give us just 60 seconds. 60 seconds, yes, 60 seconds. If you need to take a break, please, I'll give you 60 seconds. Take a break, and then we'll come back immediately. 60 seconds, 60 seconds. So by 3:45, we'll be back. So 60 seconds. In the 60 seconds, if you have question, if you have any comment, contribution, you can go ahead and drop your comments, drop your contributions. You can do that orally. You can do that in the chat room, okay? All right, but we'll have 60 seconds. All right, my 60 seconds is over. Now let's return back to class and let's begin to round up this section. Now, how does generative AI differ from traditional AI? As a HR, as an AI advisor, you should be able to know this, okay? Now, first, based on objectives and capabilities, how does generative AI differ from traditional AI? Now, traditional AI, the objective is designed to solve specific tasks or problems through predefined roles, algorithms, and pattern recognitions. The capabilities hinges on performing classification, prediction, and optimization of tasks. It excels in areas like data analysis, anomaly detection, and decision support. Now, what of generative AI? Generative AI is objective, is designed to generate new content such as text, images, music, or other data based on learned patterns from existing data sets. The capabilities here include creating new and original content, simulates human-like creativity, and can generate data that wasn't explicitly present in the training set. So it will learn or relearn through reinforcement. It can be able to give you much more better results. Okay. On the basis of methodologies and techniques, how do they differ? The traditional AR, or the traditional AI rather, on approaches include supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, and rule-based learning. Examples are the decision tree, support vector machines, the K-means clustering. Okay, please don't bother about some of these things. But as you progress in your knowledge of generative AI, I'm sure you will get to be much more conversant with all of these things. For generative AI, each approach primarily uses advanced neural network architectures, such as generative adversarial networks and variational autoencoders and large language models like the ChatGPT-4. Now, as we progress, we will get to understand all of these technical things you are mentioning. We'll get to understand them better. What do we mean by generative adversarial network? What do we mean by variational autoencoders? And what do we mean by large language models? We will understand them by practice, okay? We'll explain the basics, we'll explain the foundations, but we will understand it better when we begin to practice them, by the time we begin to do hands-on tomorrow. So if you are coming to tomorrow's class, if you have a laptop, please keep it close by because you might need it. If you don't have a laptop, you might need your tablet, and you might need your Android, your phone, okay? Something that is Ethernet enabled, all right? Okay, that would be great. So tomorrow we'll be doing the hands-on part of it. Now, how does generative AI differ from the traditional AI? Based on applications, traditional AI focuses more on data analysis and predictions, automation and control, and natural language processing. The generative AI focuses on content creation, design and prototyping, and personalization. Now, by the time you get to its differences based on data dependency, traditional AI focuses on training data. So it picks from the data set available to it and trains, and is being trained on. And then the output is based on the data for which it is used to train. Okay, and that's why I said your AI, of which generative AI is part of it, the quality of result it gives you is dependent on the quality of data you give to it. All right, this is very, very important. Okay, now generative AI, the training of data here uses large data sets to learn the underlying distribution of data, can work with both labeled and unlabeled data. Why the traditional heavily relies on the labeled data, the generative AI can work with both the labeled and unlabeled data, okay? And then we have that on the output, it generates new instances. It generates new instances that resemble the trained data but are not exact replicas, leveraging the learned distribution to create novel content. Now, on complexity and resource requirements, traditional AI on complexity can vary from simple rule-based systems to complex machine learning models, often requires feature engineering and domain-specific knowledge. Resources here will generally require less computational power compared to generative models, though this can vary depending on the application. For generative AI, on complexity typically involves complex neural network architectures with millions or billions of parameters requiring extensive training and fine-tuning of your AI. And then the resources here requires high computational requirements. Like now we talk about the GPUs and we talk about the TPUs, the graphic processing unit and the tensor processing unit. All of these are there to help the generative AI architecture, okay? All right. Now, in summarizing the difference, traditional AI focuses on solving specific problems through classification, prediction, and optimization using various machine learning techniques and rule-based systems. It is primarily used for analyzing and making decisions based on existing data, while the generative AI aims to create new and original content by learning the underlying patterns and structures of the training data. It leverages advanced neural network architectures to simulate human-like creativity and generate novel data. If there is anyone here that is taking a course currently on, maybe you're doing an MSc on artificial intelligence, you're doing an MSc on cybersecurity, this course, this particular material will be very, very important to you. And this course will be very, very important to you. All right. Now, back to our story. How does generative AI works? How does it work? Now, for those that are requesting us for them to record, the class is already recorded on YouTube, so you can just go to YouTube and fetch the data after the class is over. All right. So you don't need to record. All right. Thank you. Generative AI, or Gen AI for short, is a fascinating branch of artificial intelligence adept at creating new things. Generative AI functions through advanced neural network architectures designed to learn patterns from large data sets and generate new content that mimics the learned patterns. The breakdown of how it works is that first, there is going to be a training on massive data sets. So there's going to be big data for which you're going to use to train your AI. Number two, there's probabilistic modeling, where all information are not available in your data sets. There is a possibility that your AI could pick up or begin to reason and suggest what could possibly be your answer. Then generating new content, and then fine-tuning and evaluating the content that is being developed. Now, remember that we said that generative AI, I think, is on, it has two things. You have the transformers and the discriminators, okay? Where the transformers and the encoders are responsible for generating data based on the data set. The discriminators are there as quality assurance system to make sure that the data provided by the encoders and the generators, rather, the generators and the discriminators, rather. The generators will be made up of the encoders and the transformers. Now, they are responsible for generating, the generators are responsible for generating. The discriminators are working like quality assurance officers to make sure that any information generated by the generator is in line with the data set for which it is trained on. So on the AI itself, it already had provided a mechanism to make sure that the information is given you is accurate. But of course, you know that it is human beings that formulated those things. So you also need your own input at the end of the day. All right, so someone is saying that he can't hear me. Please, if you can hear me loud and clear, kindly confirm by typing 11 in the chat room. If you can hear me loud and clear, please kindly confirm by typing 11 in the chat room. From Facebook to Zoom, if you can hear me loud and clear, please kindly confirm by typing 11 in the chat room. All right. So in IPM, anytime you see 11, it simply means we want to confirm that you can hear us. All right. So I'm sure that Reverend Ojinta will now know that others are hearing, but he's not hearing. So he will have to look at his network and device to be sure that they are well connected. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. So let's now get to the full gist of the discussion. How generative AI works. We said number one is through training on massive data sets. Now, how do they do this training? That will now come back to what we call the models. What kind of models are created to help train this AI? You know, these things we are talking, they look like they are big things to do. Technology has made it such a way that you can create your own generative AI today if you wish to. And in our advanced classes, we'll be looking at that, how to create chatbots, how to create your own AI. Okay, so if you don't want to pay people, you can create yours. Okay, you can create yours, and we'll look at that in the advanced session. That will be by our next class on artificial intelligence. All right. Okay, so what models do we now need to create this? We have what we call the neural network architectures. And then also we have the training process models, the generation process models, and then we have the fine-tuning and the evaluation process models. Now let's look at each of them. Under the neural network architectures, what is neural network? Okay, what is neural network? The neural network architectures refer to the specific configurations and arrangements of artificial neurons, or what we call nodes, and layers within a neural network. These architectures define how data flows through the network, how information is processed at each layer, and ultimately how the network learns and performs tasks. In simple terms, come in, let's discuss. That's what we want to do now. All of this grammar, what does it really mean? Now let's discuss it by looking at what these neural networks are. So example of neural network is our generative adversarial network, where we get our generative AI from. Okay, so what are the components of this generative AI with respect of it being a neural network architecture? Number one, component. It consists of two neural networks, the generator and the discriminator, which compete against each other. Now, what are their functions? The generator creates new data samples. Example, images, texts, videos, arts, and what have you, that resemble the data for which it was trained from. What is the role of the discriminator? It evaluates the authenticity of the generated samples, distinguishing between the real and fake data. Like I said in the morning, there are some, for those of us that do research or you do test-based work, okay, there are some AI tools that you use now. They will give you references where they are generated from. That they are telling you this is the data where we are trained from. Okay, we didn't just come up, we were trained from somewhere. Okay, so we have references. Those references are trying to tell you that yes, the standard of information is sure based on this reference, and that's what the discriminator is trying to do: authenticate the relevance and the quality of the information that is being given. All right. Now, on the training process, how do you train your GANs, your generative adversarial network? The generator produces fake samples, and the discriminator evaluates them against real samples. So the generative AI, the generator just, you ask the generator, can you tell me my name? Have you ever tried that before? Okay, so I asked us to do something with Meta AI. I don't know if we did something. Did anybody try it? Did you try chatting with the Meta AI? Just ask it nasty questions. What is my name? You'll be sure of what it will tell you. So if you ask what is my name, and then the discriminator will say, no, we are not trained to tell this person his name. We don't even have the capacity to do so. So after processing that, it will now tell you something like, we might not know your name, but we know you're somebody who is curious to learn about new things. It will tell you something. Okay, and they talk to you with high level of emotional intelligence. You wonder how they're able to get such. Okay, all right. So did somebody try something with chatting with Meta AI? If you did, can you type Tutu in the chat room? You tried chatting with Meta AI. I didn't say before the class. Okay, after the class, we are giving an assignment. Try chatting with the Meta AI, the one on your WhatsApp. Try chatting with it. Let's see what it does. Okay, you tried it. Type Tutu in the chat room. I didn't say you tried it before the class. I said after the class was over, we gave the assignment. If you tried it, type Tutu. If you didn't try it, type 00. If you tried it, type 22. If you didn't try it, type 00. Ola Fasti, thank you for joining us on YouTube. You're welcome. Okay, so if you tried it, type 22. If you didn't try it, type 00. Let's see who tried it and who didn't try it. So Kechuku Nzewata tried it. Okay. So who else tried it? While I'm looking at those who tried it and those who didn't try it. Now, the discriminator provides feedback to the generator, which improves its ability to create realistic samples. This adversarial process, now, why do we call it an adversarial process? One is creating, one is discriminating, one is saying what you're doing is not right, one is saying what I'm doing is right. So there is a competition between the two with the intention of producing a result that both of them will agree that is right. And that process is going to be based on the quality of data for which it is trained on. All right. So even if you're not an AI teacher, you should be able to, as an AI, generative AI person in this class, you should be able to explain this very well. Okay. And like I said, this information, for those of us this is a master's level program. So if you're doing something around masters, okay, this program will be very, very, very much handy and help you out. Okay, now I'm saying this because it has helped me and it has helped quite a number of us. So it can also help you. All right, so the adversarial process continues until the generator produces data indistinguishable from the real data. It's at that point that they will agree that yes, what you did is right. Okay, so Nzewata, Okechukwu Nzewata, can you share with us your experience? What is your experience? When you chatted with Meta, what was the experience like? Did you ask it nasty questions? And what was the feedback like? Okechukwu Nzewata, if you can hear me, feel free. Yeah, go ahead. Your microphone is open.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. When I chatted with the AI, I asked what my name is.
Oh,
And,
that's wonderful.
yes. And he said that he does not have the capacity to know my name. I went on and said, except I tell him my name.
Okay.
So I now went ahead again and replied and told him my name. I said, my name is Okechukwu. And in the next line, the AI replied me with my name and said, from now henceforth, he'll be addressing me by my name.
That's beautiful. Now,
Yeah.
what you have done is that irrespective of the fact that it doesn't have the capacity to know your name, but for the fact that he asked you, as he said, except you tell him your name, and you told him the app your name, it's okay, from henceforth, he's going to tell you. Now, it will be wonderful. By the time you go back and ask the app now, what is my name? It will now bring out your name. What has it done? It had learned from you. You gave it a data to learn from. Okay, if another person comes under your phone and asks what is my name, it will respond with Okechukwu Nzewata. But if it goes to another app, another phone, and the person says, my name is Ebuche Banito, if on the same phone you ask, what is my name? It will tell my name is Ebuche Banito. Now, what is it doing? It talks about the adaptability, how it's able to adapt to different spaces. And also talks about customization. It knows that there is privacy. So I shouldn't breach privacy. Okay, there are things I do on some of my AI tools today that if I opened it on another system and try doing it, I will have to start afresh completely. Like it will have to tell me, I don't know about this, I don't know about that. But meanwhile, on my own system, I've already told it what this means and what that means and how it can go about refining it. So those training are the things we talk about when we say it has to go through a training process and all of that. All right. Thank you so much, Okechukwu, for taking our time to do that. All right. Henshaw said that he said, I always chat Meta AI just to test its extent of knowledge with even irrelevant things, but it always responds to the best of its abilities, explain why its responses may not be apt in some cases. Okay. Alex Samuel says, where are you from? I mean, what is the name of your village? Meta AI, ha ha ha. I don't have a village or a physical location. I exist solely as a digital entity designed to assist and communicate with users like you. I don't have a personal history or a physical presence. My home is the digital realm, and I am accessible from anywhere with an internet connection. Beautiful. Okay. So you see, I responded to you like you're talking to a real human being. And this is what we're talking about. Now, the second model that you use in training your AI is what we call the variational autoencoder, or what we call the VAEs, okay, the VAEs. Now, the component here will comprise of an encoder and a decoder, and I'm sure almost every one of us knows about encoders and decoders in communication management, okay? Now, the function of the encoder is that it maps input data to a latent space, capturing the underlying distribution of the data. The decoder reconstructs data from the latent space, generating new samples that follow the learned distribution. Now, the training process here is that the encoder learns to compress the input into a lower dimensional representation, that's latent space, the decoder learns to expand this representation back into data that resembles the original input. Now, the VAEs include a regularization term to ensure that the latent space follows a predefined distribution, usually the Gaussian approach, enabling smooth interpolation and the sample generation. So the Gaussian approach is more like an evaluation techniques to ensure that what is imputed resembles what is given out. Okay, all right. So on its own, it also has the ability to fine-tune and evaluate what you have given it. All right. Okay. Then we have the transformers. Okay. Another model you can use, the transformers. Okay. So one more time, if you are watching us from YouTube, I see retired Brigadier General A.T. Francis on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us on YouTube. He said, what are the key requirements to achieve GAN? Thanks. Okay, so we just spoke about that here. I would say, number one, in the generative adversarial network, there are two components. You have the generative, or the generator, and the discriminator. Why the generator is the one generating? The discriminator is trying to evaluate and make sure that whatever is generated is in line with the data set for which it was created from. But importantly, it is good for us to realize that before any generative AI will work, it will first of all be trained. So you have your, what do you call it? Your robotic engineering or artificial intelligence engineering for training, or first of all, for designing and for creating your chatbot. So if it is programming, the deep learning language, the machine language, Python language, and any other language that you wish to use in developing your Gen AI tool, you can go ahead and do that. But in whichever language you're using, you're training it for the purpose of accepting data, learning from the data, fine-tuning the data, and giving the best result out of the data. That's what your GANs is doing, and basically on every other thing there. Okay, so to have the key requirement for generative AI, the discriminator, the generator and the discriminator has to be there. But before you start talking about discriminator and generator, these discriminator and generator, they are all functions of the kind of programming you did when you were creating that particular generative AI. Okay, that's what we need to establish. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. I trust you got that. But like I said, this class, we still have another class of the advanced class on generative AI. So there we'll do more of look at it from the under to how is it generated, how is it created, so you can learn practically how to create and encode those things. Okay, and then if you want to become a certified AI advisor, you can also do so. Okay. All right. Now we were looking at the transformers. The components of a transformer is self-attention mechanism to process sequence of data, example text. The functions here, the self-attention allows the model to weigh the importance of different parts of the input sequence when making predictions. And then you have layers, stacked layers of self-attention and feed forward neural networks that enable deep learning from sequential data. So this one is trained to learn. Okay, it's trained to learn from the data. Okay, it's trained to learn from the data. Then you have your training process. Models like the GPT, the generative pre-trained transformer, okay, are pre-trained on large text corpora to learn language patterns and semantics. Fine-tuning on specific tasks or data sets further refines the model's ability to generate contextually relevant text. So your chat GPT is a transformer. Okay, it's built on the basis of transformer. It not only trained, it also has the ability to learn from data sets. So the the more people come to use it and feed it with data, the more it's learning from the information people are bringing, okay, and is improving on the results being given. Now, the second aspect of how the generative AI works is the training process. And you have the first one, data collection and processing. How does it collect data? Gathering large and diverse data sets relevant to tasks like images, text, audio. You can gather all of that and use it to train. And you can also use that to train it how to come up with data in such reference. Okay. There are some AI tools that you can upload data like text, upload like images, upload like videos, upload like Excel sheets, and then you give it instruction and then it will come up with better results for you, or it will do whatever thing you want it to do based on the information it has been trained on. The pre-processing, you have the cleaning, normalizing, and augmenting the data to ensure it is suitable for training. Example, resizing images, tokenizing tests, and all of that. Still on the training process, we have the model training. After you might have collected the data, pre-processed the data and all of that, how do you now train? How do you model the training? You have initialization, setting up the neural network with initial weights and biases. Then you have the forward pass, passing input data through the network to generate output. You have loss calculation, measuring the difference between the generated output and the actual data using loss functions like the binary cross entropy poly for GANs or reconstruction loss for the vase. Okay, there are quite a number of technical things I mentioned here. I would say don't bother yourself too much about them, but I'll try my best to explain their application or their implication when we are doing the hands-on, right? They will have the backward pass, and of course, we are not necessarily creating any generative AI tool now. We are only learning the foundation. How does it really work, all right? So as a generative AI person, you should be able to learn how the tools work. But by the time we get to the advanced models, we should be able to learn how to develop them. Okay, and we'll suggest to you courses that you should take that will help you with learning about creating these tools. Okay, learning about creating these tools. All right, we have a few minutes to rounding up this section, So please make sure you stay on till we are done. All right, we will be rounding up this session by 5 p.m. So we'll have about 45 minutes to round off. And as we move on, if you have questions, if you have comments, that will be so much entertained. Okay. All right. Thank you, and thank you so much. So now let's move on. Somebody said on a lighter note, who is the person that is putting lighter on the note? Somebody put lighter on the note. Who is that? Okay, I. Please, this person that is bearing I. Can you please rename your device so that we can know who you are and call you by your name? Your surname is I, and your first name is I. So please, can you rename your device so that we can actually address you by your name, and that will also help us to pick out what you say. All right. Now the third way through which the generative AI works is through input sampling. For the generative adversarial networks and for the VEAs, random noise or latent vectors are sampled from a predefined distribution like the Gaussian as input to the generator or the decoder. For transformers, a prompt or initial sequence is provided to start the generation process. Okay, that's good. The person put his name. Oh, Trustly. Trustly, your device is reading I as your first name and I as your surname. Okay, so please kindly do the needful. Okay, so if you are on YouTube, please feel free. Make sure you like. We have about 18 people on YouTube currently. Yeah, go ahead, like the discussion. Go ahead, make your comments. Go ahead, subscribe. Right, that's very important. Still on the generative or the generation process, we have the data generation. For the GANs, the generator transforms noise into synthesis. So the information we feed is considered as noise. It transforms the noise into synthetic data samples. And then the VAs, the decoder reconstructs new data samples from latent vectors. For the transformers, the model generates sequence step by step, predicting the next element based on previous ones. Now, the last phase is fine-tuning and evaluation. On the fine-tuning, models can be fine-tuned on specific data sets or tasks to improve performance in targeted applications. Example, generating specific styles of art or text. Now, on the evaluation, it can be done qualitatively or it can be done quantitatively. The qualitative evaluation is when there is a human judgment or expert to review the generated content. The quantitative evaluation is using metrics like the inception score for images or the BLEU score for text. So the BLEU score is used to check the originality of your text, the quality of your content. So if you do research, you get to see more of this. Okay, to assess the quality and diversity of the generated data. All right. Just for you to note that generative AI functions through complex neural network architectures, primarily the GANs, the VAEs, and the transformers to learn from vast data sets and generate new content. The process involves collecting and pre-processing data, training the model using iterative optimization techniques, and generating new data samples from learned representations. Fine-tuning and evaluation ensures that the models produce high quality and relevant output, enabling a wide range of applications from creative content generation to personalized experiences. Okay, before we go on, let's quickly look at what's coming up next in IIPM. In the first session, we talked about the introduction of our modular certification programs, of which this particular program is a part of it. The whole essence is to help us build relevant skills and remain relevant in the workplace. So we get to build analytical skills, consulting and problem-solving skills, public speaking, mentoring, coaching skills, leadership, strategy, and policy-making skills, emotional intelligence, and HR skills, among others. Okay. Now, this program is intentioned to make sure that all of our members are on track with their continuous learning and development programs. However, non-members are also welcome. Now, the program is made in such a way that it's cost-effective, it is flexible, we provide you with the mentorship and support all through the program. And of course, all the certificates you're going to get in this program will be well recognized. Now, we have some of the programs already mentioned. You have the certificate course in emotional intelligence for professionals coming up July 11th, 13th. And it is for a token of members, 19,850, and non-members, 24,850. Please note that all of the fees are applicable within the time ranges. So if you want to pay for that, it is going to be within the time range, either before or within the time range, all right? Then you have the certificate course in executive leadership development and innovation management. About 2-3 years ago, those that did executive leadership development only did executive leadership development. But now we have executive leadership development and innovation management, all right? And on July 18th to 20th, in August, we have certificate in management consulting. August, also we have certificate in data analysis, and then we have a certificate course in public speaking, coaching, and mentoring, certificate course in human resource management and administration, certificate course in corporate strategy and policy. Every MDCO, every director, every top level official is expected to attend the course or certificate course in corporate strategy and policy. All right. Management course, certificate course in corporate entrepreneurship and development for professionals. All of this will be sent to our WhatsApp group. So in case you're not in the WhatsApp group, when the link is posted, please ensure to join the WhatsApp group so that you get updated. We are collapsing every other WhatsApp group. We are just creating one which is the IPM Professional Development Certification Community, and then we'll have one for members, okay? So that's very, very important. Now, in all of these programs, if you want to learn by buying bundles, you can have a bundle for 3, which is the basic bundle. You can have a bundle for 5, which is the standard bundle. As you can pay for just a bundle and you have access to 3 courses, and you'll be saving massively on that. You can have the standard 5 courses. You can have 8 plus 1. So if you're taking the premium, you have access to 8 courses plus any other 2 you wish to take. That will be about 10 of it. Okay. Now, why the cost of these bundles remain at what you can see on the screen right now? I trust you can see my screen very, very well. For basic is $50,500 or $55. Non-members is $65,500 or $75. For standard, that's for 5 courses, 5 modular courses, $85,500 or $95 for members, and non-members $105,500 or $115. For the premium, you have members at $140,500 or $155, non-members at $175,500 or $195. That's for 8 courses. Now, if you are going to, we have an early bird discount for this program, for the bundles. So if you're going to be taking any of the bundles between now and July 5th, yeah, it was meant to be a 73 hours offer, but we're just going to extend it to 5 days. So between now and July 5th, if you want to buy the bundles, any of the bundles, you have additional discounts. So for basic, instead of 50, you get 45. Instead of 65, you get 60. That's for members and non-members. Like standard, members 75 instead of 85, and then non-members 95 instead of 105. And then for premium, you have 130,500 instead of 140,500, and then you have 165,500 instead of 175,500. So if you wish to be part of these bundles, you can pay upfront for all of the courses for the remaining part of the year. So all you need to do is to make yourself available in all of the trainings, or you can also learn by watching through the YouTube sections. You can do a self-study, and then you can also have a one-on-one study. That's in case you want to learn outside of the schedule, you can also have a one-on-one study. That's the benefit of buying any of the bundles. But please note, the offers, the discounts on the offers are only valid till July 5th. All right. Okay. Now, we also have our special membership induction coming up August 8th. August 8th. And that also comes with a discount. If you want to become an associate member, you pay $85,000 instead of $100,000 or $85. As a full member, you pay $100,000 instead of $120, and also as $100. As a fellow, you pay $150,000 instead of $185,000 or $150. All of the information regarding the payments are the same. And you can also access all of the information that have been provided by visiting the website. So if you want to visit our modular certification, you can visit our website on that. And if you want to visit our membership, special membership discount program, you can also visit our website on that. Okay. All right. So you can join all of the multitude of people. I know there are quite a number of people that the organizations are not captured here. Many of them are members. Many of them are certified professionals from IPM. So you can join all of these people and learn alongside. Now, before I continue, any question, any comment, any contribution, please feel free to hit me on this. Any question, any comment, any contribution, feel free. Okay, so Nabot, your hand is up. Feel free to unmute. Please, Nabot, go ahead. Let's hear your question.
Good evening, colleague. Am I?
Yes, your network is breaking a little bit.
Okay, I'm following up on the a colleague asked before we had the break from the first that how are we getting
Oh, my. So sorry, sir. The network is breaking. Can you put the question in the chat room, sir? I can barely hear you, sir. Can you put the question in the chat room? Thank you so much. Okay. Okay. All right. So let me not bore us with much ado. Now let's um let's just take a 5 minutes break. Please, let's take a 5 minutes break. While we're taking the break, if you have a question, you can go ahead and ask. Let's take a 5 minutes break. So we return by 4:33. We return by 4:33. Okay, so we'll take a 5 minutes break, return by 4:33. Please, on YouTube, don't go anywhere. Just hang on. Those on Zoom, please don't go anywhere. Just hang on. Just take a break. While we're on break, if you have questions, feel free to send in your question. YouTube people, you can drop all of your questions in the chat box or in the chat section. So we'll take that right away. YouTube, your questions, we'll take that in the chat box. Okay, I'm waiting for the questions to come in. Comments can also come in. Okay, he said a colleague had earlier asked before we went on break, the first session, how to get the slides. Okay, wonderful. Okay, I'll attend to that immediately. Okay. Now, while we are on break, you can also take the time to visit the website on our modular certification programs. You can also go ahead and register for the programs of your choice for free. But you know that your certification is only accessible by the payment for those particular ones. And then you can also check out our membership discount currently going on. So you can check those things out. Okay. So those of us on YouTube, please make sure that you're still around. Don't go anywhere. Just make sure you're with us. And we will be back in a moment. So I gave you a break, but I'm here making sure that nobody goes anywhere. I'm sure you're listening to me because okay, so we'll be back in 1 minute. Let's begin to round off our break and begin to rejoin the class. All right, thank you so much. Our break is over. So let's return back and let's round off this section. I have 28 minutes to round off this section. Welcome back. I trust you enjoyed your few seconds break. And then we have to begin to round up. Okay, so module 3, let's look at generative AI and leadership management in organizations. Remember, I said, actually, by the end of this course, you are supposed to be considered as an AI advisor. Okay, so this is one of your basic steps to becoming an AI advisor. So if you were to advise an organization, the leadership of an organization on the use of AI and its impact, what would that mean? So we need to look at that, okay? Because I'm very confident that after this class is over, some of us will come up as AI, advisors, okay, even before we get the certification as AI advisors. Please, coordinator, can you help me go back to the WhatsApp group? And some people would have thought that we are done. So go back and post the link again. Let them know that we are still up. We're still here. Coordinator, can you hear me? Okay. Hope my coordinator are not going to leave. Okay, so if there is anyone here who has the capacity to post in the group, please go ahead and inform them that we're still here. And these are very important areas to look into. Okay, one more time, please confirm that you can hear me loud and clear. If you can hear me loud and clear, please kindly type 1-1 in the chat room. Okay, if you can still hear me loud and clear, kindly type 1-1. Okay, Dr. Oluremi, Dr. Oluremi, you have become so IT compliant. In the morning, I saw you on YouTube. In the midday, I saw you on Zoom. Now, in this evening, I'm seeing you on Zoom. You and Reverend Ojinta, you people have become the most IT compliant people in this class. And I'm going to give you a recognition for that. Okay, you'll be shuffling between Zoom and YouTube. So thank you for being IT compliant. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So let's proceed. What is the impact of generative AI on leadership management in organizations? The impact. What does that entail? What does that entail? Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel Ibok from the YouTube. The questions that have been asked on how to get the materials, we will attend to that, please. We'll attend to all of that. Okay. All right. Now, let's take this quote from Richard Porter, the CEO and co-founder at Peak. In 2023, he said that AI will change the way we work and run our businesses in the same way that the introduction of the internet did. AI decision-making in particular has the potential to raise global economic output and is projected at a staggering $13 trillion to the global economy by 2030. That's the financial economic benefit of AI. Now, what does this mean to organization? The organization is positioned to be part of the people making this money, right? Part of the people that will be exposed to this economy. Now, if you're positioned well, obviously you're going to be part of the people reaping the benefit of this 13 trillion. But if not, you're possibly going to be losing. Okay, this is a projection by 2030, but I'm sure it's going to be more than that. Okay, it's going to be more than that. According to Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, still in 2023, he said something like, this next generation of AI will reshape every software category and every business, including our own. Although this new era promises great opportunity, it demands even greater responsibility from companies like us. So that talks about the responsibility of leadership in AI management. The responsibility of leadership in AI management. The responsibility of leadership in AI management. Okay, the responsibility of leadership in AI management. All right, now let's see what we have. The generative artificial intelligence, being a transformative force, is also transforming organizational leadership by enabling leaders to leverage advanced AI capabilities to drive innovation, improve decision-making, and enhance operational efficiency. Under the auspices of enhanced decision-making, the generative AI can process vast amount of data and provide insights that help leaders make informed decisions. By analyzing trends, patterns, and predictions, leaders can better understand market dynamics, customer preferences, and operational efficiencies. With this, we can definitely understand, one more time, that AI is not here to take our job. Rather, AI is here to support what we are doing. Okay, AI is here to support what we are doing. All right. Okay. Now, under innovation and creativity, we can also see that generative AI models can create new ideas, designs, and solutions that might not be immediately apparent to human minds. So they help us to come up with ideas that might not be immediately apparent to human minds. This is very, very important. Leaders can use these AI-generated ideas to foster innovation, develop new products, and solve complex problems creatively. So everyone in this class is expected to be a leader. You are at a responsibility of mastering how generative AI can now promote innovation and creativity. Not only mastering it, also leading the path for others to follow. This is very, very important. Now, personalized leadership. AI can analyze individual employee data to help leaders tailor their management approach to each team member's strengths, weaknesses, and preferences. So from what we are doing now, you can just agree with me that it's not just about writing reports, writing blogs, writing articles, coming up with videos and all of that. AI has more to offer, especially to those at the top. This personalized leadership style can improve employee engagement and productivity. Now, going forward, we see the impact of AI also on efficiency and automation. And this is where both the public sector and private sector, this is where everybody is driving now, efficiency and automation. Can we even reduce the number of human beings we are employing and make sure that we are reducing costs and driving profitability? Now, I want you to learn something here. The economy is driving everybody towards an entrepreneurial level. Nobody is pleading with anybody now to become an entrepreneur. You just have to become an entrepreneur by default. That's where the economy is driving everybody. I said this in one of our classes, like very, very soon. You see, when government becomes so conscious of performance, they are telling you something. Okay, they are telling you something. And that thing they are telling you is that is either you are good and best at what you're doing, or you might have to find a way out this place. And one thing about the impact of government on the economy generally is that when government sets the pace, the private sector follows. Now that we have been talking about quite a number of discussions on minimum wage and all of that, while I was having my discussion with NCAA, I asked them a question. I said, every one of us have been talking about minimum wage. Had anybody paid attention to productivity? You as let's take for instance, the public worker that's talking about minimum wage. Do you know the amount of work you need to put in to produce that minimum wage? Does anybody here know? That my Nigerian friends, you earn 100,000. Do you know? Do you have clear KPIs? Do you have clear performance targets that tells your contribution to your organization that will determine the amount of money you're earning? Do you have? So when government is telling you we are bringing in performance management system, they are telling you we want to know exactly what, before you even talk about minimum wage, what's your productivity? Because we are borrowing to pay you. That means you are not productive enough. That's indirectly what they are saying. And that performance system is going to drive everybody to become an entrepreneur. And that's why I think it's in October, we'll be dealing with corporate entrepreneurship. Don't miss it. It's not like the normal entrepreneurship program we do. This one is another type of entrepreneurship. Okay. So, like I said earlier, I believe with time, courses like this will produce more consultants. Courses like this will produce more entrepreneurs. Courses like this will produce more freelance workers. Courses like this will produce more remote workers. Okay, what is it doing? It is driving corporate entrepreneurship. It is driving corporate entrepreneurship. Efficiency is no longer going to be a function of who did it, where did he do it, when did he do it. No, efficiency is now going to be a product of results that are being achieved. And with time, when systems or when public systems, private systems begin to realize that we can automate and get more efficiency with artificial intelligence, they would rather hire a consultant who can set up those systems for them and train maybe 1 or 2 people to oversee those systems than to hire 50 people that will try to do that work and not get to the level of efficiency and the process management that the system will give. Let us not be biased in our thinking. This is just human nature, and we'll always want profit at the end of the day, whether you're public or you're private. So if you're not adding profit, you're incurring costs. Just know that. And just know that the earlier you know it, the better for you. If you cannot say categorically how you are adding to the bottom line, to the profit, to the revenue generation, you're incurring costs, you're a cost item. Is that too hard to believe? But that's just the reality. If you cannot tell categorically what your contribution is, you're just a cost item. You are an employed liability. Okay, it's just that they've not found a way to let you go. But with time, with these whole disruptions coming up, what I'm saying now may seem as though I'm crossing my boundary, but I'm telling you the boundary has already been crossed long ago. I'm only trying to bring you towards the boundary so that you know what is happening. Okay, so let us not be biased about these things. But I'm telling you the honest part. Corporate entrepreneurship is what everybody is trying to drive. Through what? Through performance. Through performance systems, through digitalization, through effectiveness and efficiency. And that's what is going on right now. So with time, you will agree with me that what I'm telling you, I wasn't just framing it up. I'm just telling you the real truth. Okay. Okay, so Translate said even the same government that is not productive is threatening. Okay, so government is a system. Okay, it is the people in it that are not productive, not the government itself. Okay, government is trying to make its system now to evaluate. So before now, what they had was, if we were to use generative AI in this case, what they had more was generators. So they didn't have more of discriminators. But now you can even stay in your house for 1 month and you will be paid at the end of the day. But they want to put evaluation mechanics in place so that at the end of the day, before they pay you, they assess what you have produced. So there must be, see, this thing we call gross national product, gross domestic product. It is not magic. It is not a bandwagon kind of thing. It has its own full application in the general economy. So let us not just stay there and say dollar is rising. Dollar is rising because of our own productivity, both public and private sector. Okay, whether we're in Nigeria, outside Nigeria, wherever you find yourself, if dollar is a threat to your economy, it is your country and the people in it that are causing it. Most often, it is public government inability to promote and persuade policies that bring us to those points. When people feel government is nonchalant, and when we say government is nonchalant, it is people that are nonchalant. Government is not a name. Government is not a tool. Government is people. So it's people that make up what we call government. When we say corruption, government is corrupt. We just carry the right badge and put it in the wrong place. That corruption we are talking about, it is a group of people who have made up their mind that they are not going to do something right. So we should place the badge on them. So what the performance system is trying to do now is to single out those spoiled eggs that are spoiling the good ones and then help the system to get better. That's what they are trying to do. And let me tell you the truth, they are desperate. My little association and our little affiliation and our little involvement in what government is doing in Nigeria as a case, they are very serious with what they are doing. They are very, very serious with what they are doing. Okay. That's very, very important. Let's get that at the back of our mind. Okay, so Trusley once again said, when we start the performance policy from the politicians, and we will be shocked that these politicians ought to go for consultants to drive the economy. From there, we now set intentional KPIs for them. Okay, but do you know that the citizenry are also beginning to hold the politicians accountable? There are quite a number of revolutions going on. We might not be aware of all of them, but quite a number of things are going on. And let us also be aware that most of the politicians are beginning to sit up. Okay, they are beginning to sit up because they know that politics in Nigeria and in most aspects of the world are no longer like moi moi and pepper soup as they would always have it. So things are changing. Now, in terms of talent management, AI-driven tools can assist in recruiting, training, and addressing talent. Leaders can use AI to identify skills gap, predict future talent needs, and develop personalized development plans for employees. Risk management. Generative AI can help leaders identify and mitigate risk by analyzing data for potential threats. This provocative approach, or this proactive approach rather, to risk management can prevent issues before they escalate and ensure organizational resilience. I'm trying to round off the section so that we can all go home and rest. I have 10 minutes to do that. Enhanced communication. AI can assist leaders in crafting effective communication strategies. By analyzing communication patterns and feedback, AI can suggest improvement to enhance clarity, engagement, and impact. Strategic forecasting. Leaders can use AI to forecast market trends, economic conditions, and competitive landscape. These insights enable leaders to develop long-term strategies that are more likely to succeed in a rapidly changing environment. Now, the ethical and responsible AI use still as part of the responsibilities of leaders. As leaders integrate generative AI into their organizations, they must also consider ethical implications. Leaders need to ensure that AI is used responsibly with considerations for privacy, fairness, and transparency. And AI can also help leaders with their continuous learning and development. So continuous learning and adaptation. The integration of generative AI requires leaders to stay updated on technological advancement and continuously learn how to leverage these tools effectively. Adaptive leadership is crucial in harnessing the full potential of AI. I want to challenge, if a public servant here, I want to challenge every public servant, every director, in the morning we had some DGs, some director generals that joined us. I've not seen them here. I saw most directors are here, and most CEOs and MDs. I want to challenge each and every one of us here that are in those capacities. Make sure you get, please, this is not an enticement anyway, but make sure you get the full understanding of these things we are talking about. Go back and challenge the younger generation in your office, because you're a leader. You must be the one showing them the way forward. Okay? And where possible, let me not say where possible, I will really encourage you to make sure you get the certificate to show that you are committed to the learning. Let them see, this woman, this man is really committed though. Okay. I was with a director at the director of investment and something at Mines, Federal Ministry of Mines. Is it a solid mineral, something like that? Mines and solid mineral. So he was telling me how most of the young people that are coming in don't even know what the future holds for them. With the way that public service is going in Nigeria, most of them, if they don't get to be IT compliant, they will leave the job before they even get employed, before they first get their first settlement or promotion. If they are not ready, this crazy policy coming up and all of that, just align. One certificate can change your story. Just one certificate, you think it doesn't mean anything. It can be the thing that will just help you out of an obscurity. Okay, so he was telling me he was the one that hammered it on my head. What the head of service is trying to achieve with the performance management system. Okay, and I began to ask questions like, we have National Center or National Productivity Center. What actually are they doing towards this? Because the whole performance management is tilted towards national productivity. So national productivity should be part of what is being happening or what is going on. Okay, so these leaders, they are not just. I think after that discussion, the next week, he told me he was going for a retreat, leadership retreat. And these are part of the things they are discussing on their leadership retreats. They go there 1 day, 2 days, and they come back with a certificate. And the next day, they tell you everybody should have this certificate, else expose them why these are important, driving it not just for the purpose of you paying the consultant, but for the purpose of achieving results. Okay, so every leader here, every director, deputy director, supervisor, MDCO, before this class is over today, make sure you pay for this certificate. But if you wish to pay higher later, no problem. You're welcome. But I'm just trying to tell you to be part of this move. All right. According to Geniso Someti said some people call this artificial intelligence, but the reality is this is technology. Is this technology will enhance us. So instead of artificial intelligence, I think we will augment our intelligence. We will augment our intelligence. So let's not fight artificial intelligence. Let's augment our intelligence. Let's augment our intelligence. Note, incorporating Gen AI into leadership practices requires a balance of technological proficiency and human-centric management. You have to balance technical aspect with human-centric management. Don't be like Taylor, the principle of the scientific management theory that focused on operations and not focusing on the people. All right, so there must be a balance of the technological proficiency and human-centric management. Leaders who can effectively integrate AI tools into their strategies will be better positioned to drive their organizations towards success in the digital age. There was something, I don't know whether Barrister Gabriel is here. In the story he shared with us during the member congress, he talked of how he went the program. He told me that he spent roughly 5 million naira on that course, not government sponsored. He sponsored himself on a particular course. And then when he came back with that course, he was the only one with that particular certificate and with that particular knowledge. And EFCC needed a training. He said it was in the time of Nuhu Rubadu, okay, that he had to, he was contracted to come and train EFCC on that particular matter. Of course, all the money he ever spent, he recovered all in 1,000 folds with just one consulting. And he said after that, he was given the contract to develop some policies in EFCC. And after that, he went on to doing ICPC. After that, he went on to Federal Ministry of Power. After that, he went to ECOWAS. Okay. After that, just by one exposure, one certificate, and it's not a technical certificate, but the quest. This is somebody that from background is a lawyer, but the quest for knowledge drove him to that point. Okay, he is I think he's well over 60 years, but he's still a consultant for government to date. He's still a consultant as far as Nigeria is concerned. He's still a consultant across different ministries in Nigeria to date. Okay, and this is very, very important for us to learn. So when I'm talking about these things, encouraging leaders here now, I'm not just saying it to entice you. After all, if you were to spend money on anything, spending 10,000 or 15,000, you can spend it in a moment. So instead of spending that on food this night, just streamline your food, get the certificate, put it in your archive, and be ready. Okay, be ready, be ready, be ready, be ready. All right. Now, the next we will look at is generative AI and strategy design. And this is where we're going to call it a timeout today. So we'll continue from here. We'll continue from here tomorrow morning. So our class is expected to start by 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Nigerian time. If you're in Ghana, that will be 5 a.m. Nigerian time. So it's going to be a long one for us tomorrow. But please make sure you're part of it. 6 a.m. Nigerian time. Please don't oversleep. If not, we'll send an AI to come and wake you up. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. Now, if I have any question, comments, contributions, let's go ahead. I have 2 minutes. 2 minutes from the YouTube to the Zoom. Questions, comments. I'm going to open up the channel. If you have a question, please go ahead or mute and ask. Now, while we are doing that, I'm going to take you back to the cost of the program. So in case you may want to pay for the program, you can go ahead and do so. And also, in case you wish to pay for membership, you can also go ahead.
All right, please. I think we lost Dr. Banito, maybe network or something. We have a few minutes to close the session. All right, so I will quickly make all these announcements before he comes back. Please, if you can hear me, type one in the chat room. It's been a wonderful time with every one of us. Thank you for staying back. I mean, this is about 5 hours. Thank you, Mr. Okechukwu. Thank you, Mr. Joseph. I believe those are the people that can hear me clearly. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so these are the announcements we need to make for those that are just joining us, or maybe you are not there when he was talking about how to make payment for this certification. It's very important we have evidences of what we've learned in order to show people when the time fully comes, or if there's a need for that. All right, so this is a special offer that we are looking at, and we need to maximize it. For those that are members, and those are the IIPM members, we are paying 10,000 Naira for this certificate, which is $15. For non-members, that's 15,000 Naira, which is $20. So we send the account details to us on the chat room, WhatsApp room. I will forward the link here as well before we close down the meeting today, so we can join for update and some other information we need for tomorrow. As he said, the class is starting by 6 a.m. Nigeria time tomorrow. 6 a.m. Nigeria time tomorrow. For some of us that we are in different time zone, you need to look at how you can also join. For people in Ghana, that will be 5 a.m. because he said we need to finish up on time so we can go about our various activities. All right, so if we have anybody that wants to ask a question before he comes back, kindly omit from your hand and proceed. If we have anybody that wants to ask any question, kindly omit from your hand and proceed. We have different packages for us here. We need to keep in touch. If you have any question, kindly omit from your hand and speak. We have about 17 people here. I think we started with about 32 people for this second session, but now we are 17. We really appreciate those that stayed back. And for some of us that were on YouTube, I'm not sure if you are still on YouTube. If you have any question, please drop your comment and we address everything appropriately. We still have a few people here. Mr. Benedicta, do you have any question? Mr. Michael, Mr. Musa, Mr. Okechukwu, Mr. Jide Adebisi, Mr. Francis, I don't know, Miss Deborah or Mrs. Deborah, Miss Christiana, Chinaza, Ujinta. All right, if you have any question, kindly omit from your hand and speak. And if you haven't joined the WhatsApp group for updates, I'm sending the link now. I'm sending the link to us now so we can click and join. Okay. All right, so the WhatsApp group link is uploaded. Please click on it and it will take you to WhatsApp group of the organization where we can receive information. I still believe that we have some people that want to ask questions for clarity before we close the room down now. Please don't hesitate to ask questions if you have any. Okay, so at this juncture, we need to continue tomorrow from where we stop. Please reach out to your friends, colleagues, and some other people you think they should be here as well to participate in this wonderful artificial intelligence course. It's just a 2-day course. I mean, you should have noticed that we have a lot in store to share with us. And we can see that the class is so interactive and engaging. So we should be expecting more tomorrow by God's grace. So please reach out to your friends, your colleagues, so they can also participate in this course. Thank you for your time. And we'll forward the details of any information that we may need to us on that WhatsApp group. Thank you once again. All right, bye-bye. See you in class tomorrow.
Thank you very much, and bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow, 6 a.m. Nigeria time.
God help us.
Amen. we can do it. We've done it before.
Yes, we can. Of course, not of everyone. We have to be inclusive.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone else. Bye.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. All right, so somebody asked for the WhatsApp group link. It has been sent. Let me try and share it again. All right. Please, if you are not following us on YouTube, kindly look for Integrated Institute of Professional Management, IIPM, and follow us. I feel if we have the time, you can still replay over and over this particular session that we just concluded now, or the previous one that we had in the morning.